morning everyone. So this morning we will be tackled about the lesson 18, the suggested activities that explore the earth science. But before that, let's first identify what is earth science.
What is earth science? It is the study of Earth's interior, rocks and soil, atmosphere, oceans, and outer space.
So with regard to teaching earth concept, educators have the illusion that providing some proof of spherical shape of the earth will convince the pupils about earth's shape, and as byproduct will change their understanding about the nature of cosmic space. Such proof, when given without considering the preconceptions and without confronting them explicitly, often do not serve this purpose. They do not have the intended effect of causing the pupils to modify their beliefs about Earth shape. And, needless to say, they do not influence the pupils' notion of cosmic space. The notion of cosmic space requires direct and explicit deducted treatment.
Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, classmates. I am Kristine S. Ono. So I'll be continuing the report of Miss Talino, which is the Earth Science.
Earth science involves the study of Earth's composition. It layers the activity within the layers, ocean, and weather system. There are three Earth's composition. First, we have the crust, mantle, and core. Core, we have the inner core and the outer core. Crust is a rigid outer layer that makes up the continents and seafloor. Mantle, the layer below the crust, the largest layer of the earth. The mantle is divided into two regions, the upper and the lower sections. The region just below the crust and existing all the way down to the Earth's core is called the mantle. And the last one is core. Beneath the mantle is the Earth's core. The Earth's core consists of a fluid, which is the outer core, and a solid is the inner core. Because the outer core contains iron, when it flows, it generates a magnetic field. This is the source of the Earth's magnetic field. Astronomy is the study of everything in the universe beyond Earth's atmosphere. That includes objects we can see with our naked eyes, like the sun, the moon, the planets, and the stars. It also includes objects we can only see with telescopes or other instruments like faraway galaxies and tiny particles. Martha Nussbaum is one of the world's most influential living moral philosophers because she has published on a wide range of topics, from tragedy and vulnerability to religious tolerance, feminism, and the role of the emotions in political life. She points out much of the earth science has to be taught through didactic method. Didactic method means the teacher gives instruction to the students. The students are mostly passive listeners. It is a teacher-centered method of teaching and is content-oriented. Neither the content nor the knowledge of the teachers are questioned. It is difficult to collect true observations because change occurs on a grand scale and over a very long period of time. The formation of most earth science concepts were developed by using the sophisticated technology is one that is elegantly worldly and smart or advanced process in technology. Theories of plate tectonics, for example, were developed in part collecting samples from hundreds of feet below the earth and the ocean in different parts of the world. Seismographic data collection means instrument that makes a record of waves caused by an earthquake, explosion, or over earth shaking phenomenon. Over many years, were also used to develop an explanation for the movement of the Earth plates. The same is true for the astronomy. Thus, making planets does not lead to understanding anything about them. This is merely an art exercise. Usually, the planets are not made to scale, and their surface are not reproduced accurately either. That's all for my report. Thank you.
So good morning everyone, my name is Kristine Ungab and I will continue the discussion. So those science concepts are now introduced into the curriculum and with regard to whether the children are to comprehend it developmentally. So this is the plate tectonics theory and it was first introduced into the science curriculum at the high school level. Since tectonic process on Earth between 3.3 and 3.5 billion years ago, plate tectonics is a scientific theory that explains the large-scale motion of the plates that make up the lithosphere of the Earth. So the students are collecting actual data about the earthquakes and volcanic activity. So the student also studied about continent maps and read about landmass composition to understand how they can fit together at one time. So the study of the plate tectonics is not only found at the high school level, but it can also be found at the early grades. So the kind of activity that the kids do is to cut out shapes of the continents and glue them together or make them out of clay and push them across each other to simulate what happens when continents collide.
It is an interactive activity that will make them excited and at the same time they will learn.
So for the children to be able to understand more about the plate tectonics, therefore a theory has been built through a complex data collection and inference drawing process has been reduced to a demonstration of objects moving over each other. As we all know, children has just limited knowledge about this kind of topic. And for them, this representation has no significance because the ideas are too far away from their own experiences and they are not able to grasp them developmentally. Note that the theory of plate tectonics is not founded on direct observations. So that is why it's just a theory because it is an interpretation of the researchers or the scientists embrace on the basis on the knowledge that they have.
Good morning everyone, I am Princess Dawn S. Tumang and I am going to show you the samples of lesson plan. Lesson 1. Scale models of planets. Goals. Your lesson goals should clearly define the why behind your teaching so that everyone understands the reasons for learning a given subject. Without these goals in place, you risk a lack of focus in the classroom. You won't have a way to measure successes and failures for your lesson plans. And after the goals, it is followed by grade levels and materials. And lastly is the instructions. Instructions is a detailed information telling how something should be done, operated, or assembled. Just like what I show you on the screen. That is an example of instructions in a lesson plan.
For Lesson 2, we have Plaster of Paris volcano. Our goal is to create a model of lava flow. This is for the upper grades. Materials to be used are plaster of Paris, and there are some alternatives like chalk and water, lime and water, soy powder and water, acrylic powder or undercoat, or matte, medium, or gelatin. Crayons, string, hot plate, paper cups, metal container for boiling water, and lastly, our safety goggles. Volcanic activity. First, we need to submerge the crayon in the plaster of Paris and place in boiling water. As the water boils, the heat penetrates the ball and melts the crayon. As the pressure builds, it forces the melted crayon to travel up the stream to the outside. The water has to boil long enough for the crayon to melt inside the plaster of Paris. It stimulates underground volcanic action as well as the movement of modern rock. Before doing this activity, the student can read about the various types of volcanic and identify the types that are shown in the stimulation.